Yeah, Jay was Pride Training. Today I want to talk to you about recovery. Foam rollers. I've never used a foam roller for ages until it was recommended to me by Elliot Holtz, strength and conditioning coach. And I actually tried it and it worked so much for me. It allowed me to train sometimes 6-7 days because it sped up my recovery so much from lifting heavy weights and from running, swimming, doing whatever I was doing over the week during my periodization programs. If you ever watched the Discovery Channel, you'd seen lions, tigers roll around on the floor like so in the wild, just rolling around, doing all these free-flowing movements, which looks, a bit weird, but it's actually self-myofascial release. It's almost like a self-massage, and what this does, it allows the body to recover, because around skeletal muscle organs, joints, you have fascia, and fascia is like soft tissue. It encapsulates these muscles and these organs and these bits and pieces. So what you find is this fascia connects with each other and it gets tight over time, and it can restrict your range of motion. For example, if you go into the gym one day and you do heavy squats, you probably can't go tomorrow and do the same again. Well, with this technique, I actually can squat 2-3 days in a row consecutively and squat heavy because of this. So first, I'd like to introduce you to the Trigger Point Grid Foam Roller. This has a PVC piping inside. So like the usual foam rollers that you get that go out of shape over time because they're made out of pure foam, this doesn't ever go out of shape because it has a PVC piping and it's got a nice rubber coating around it. Sometimes I use just a plain old PVC piping, but this bad boy is really good because it has grooves in it, which I actually find the grids gets more deep into the fascia and helps recovery. Also, I have a massage ball, a spiky massage ball. I have a big one and I have a small one. I'll go into later what I use them to do. And I also have a squash ball and a golf ball. Okay, so we'll start from bottom and work our way up. I start with the feet. So the feet, what you find is people who stand on their feet probably throughout the day for quite a long period of time, they tend to build up a lot of scar tissue in the feet and it gets rather sore. So if you massage your feet, start from the top of your toes, rub it into the ball of your feet and work your way down into the sole and work your way around into the instep and so forth. I normally do this for about 3-4 minutes, going deep with the massage ball first, and then when I loosen up a bit, I then start using the golf ball, which is a lot more harder. Then I'll work my way up into the calf muscles. I will do, start with the seal. The calf is divided into two muscles, the soleus and the gastrocnemius. So I'll start at the bottom part of the calf, which is a soleus muscle, and I'll slowly go into the fascia, and then I'll work my way up into the gastrocnemius. Then people you find, I tend to find that when I didn't used to squat as deep as I did, that was due to tight ankles, and helping my calves to relax a bit more, particularly my gastrocnemius, to relax a lot more, allowed me to increase the range of motion in my squat, so I was able to squat a lot deeper. So this isn't just post-recovery, this can actually help aid warming up for doing exercises, but that's a totally different video. So working up from the calves, I go into the hamstrings. A lot of athletes get tight hamstrings due to back movements that they do, due to running, and there's a lot of scar tissue built up in the bicep femoris, which is part of the hamstring. And I find, going over this about 10-12 passes up and down the foam roller helps to release this muscle. I then move from the gastrocnemius round into the IT band. The IT band, the insertion starting just from the hip going down into the knee. Is the IT band gets really tight from swimming, from running, and from squatting as well. And it can also give you pain in the knee if you have a very tight IT band. So going over the IT band as much as possible, working into deep into the fascia as much as you can, I find often helps relieve that fascia and get increasing in range of motion and helping you to aid recovery. I move from the IT T-band, move around into the abductors. The abductors, which is literally the groin region, I find in some people, the abductors get tight from driving. Moving your feet up and down in such a restricted motions give you really tight abductors. And I go over these abductors as well, as much passes as I need to, depending on how sore I am, and that often helps. Then going into the glutes, so this region around here, the gluteus maximus and the gluteus medius. I first start with the piriformis, and I use a massage ball, the really big one, to get into the piriformis. And then once I get in there, into the piriformis, and I'm feeling all that pain, I then use a golf ball. The golf ball then gets really deep into the fascia and helps with scar tissue. So then I use that and I go over it with the foam roller, up and down the glutes. And then I go from the gluteus maximus into the gluteus medius, which is the more side part of the glutes family of muscles. And I really get deep inside there because I find I get really tight from that. A lot of people who sit in the office all day tend to develop sciatic nerve problems. That's due to the piriformis pushing onto this nerve, causing lower back pain. So I find back pain starting from the glutes helps drastically. Then moving into the thoracic spine, I work my way up into the thoracic spine and lumbar spine. So you've got the lumbar spine, which is the lower part of the vertebrae, and then going up into the thoracic spine, which is the upper part of the vertebrae, going up to the top of the shoulders, and then working from there up to the cervical part of the spine. Rolling up and down, I normally use one motion. I have a really sore through the lumbar spine, and I find I get this a lot from deadlifts. I remember when I used to do deadlifts at times, I couldn't really stand around for long after doing them. A couple of days after, I'd get so much pain in my lumbar spine. I'd literally be standing there and like having so much pain. And from doing this, it helped so much. Press with the foam roller up into my pectorals. I'll actually get into my pectorals first, and then I'll bring the arm in, if you look, really tightly underneath my body, so I can engage the deltoids as well, the anterior deltoids, the front of the deltoids, and roll into them, which gets rid of so much scar tissue. Also, it gets rid of byproducts such as lactic acid, blood lactate, helps get rid of all these byproducts. So not only does the myofascial release, it also helps with these elements that build up as a byproduct within the blood. I then use a squash ball, finally, because it's so soft, and actually use this on my cervical spine area. So the cervical vertebrae actually rub it in and push out all the scar tissue that's built up in there from over time, and this helps drastically. So to conclude, foam rolling isn't for pussies, foam rolling isn't for soft people. Foam rolling is actually so important in anyone's training mechanism. If you've just started out and you have delayed onset muscle soreness, which is a soreness you get 48 hours after training, I suggest you bring this into your training. It will help you drastically. I didn't bring this in until the fifth year of my training, and it's helped so much. And I would suggest that you go out and get yourself a foam roller. I don't campaign for you to go and get this particular one, but you can get any foam roller and start using it, and use massage balls, golf balls, lacrosse balls, squash balls to help you with self-myofascial release.